Petra Waterhouse from Berlin asks,
Are great artists born or made? In other words, is talent genetic or is it learned?
Professor Anna Felix answers,
I think the short answer is both. Musical ability is a good example here because some people are born with greater potential than others, but without hard work and practice, they don't achieve it. A study of 1,211 sets of identical twins born between 1959 and 1985 found that even when one twin practiced music regularly and one didn't, it made no difference. In one case, one man practiced for over 20,000 hours more than his twin, but their musical ability was about the same. This goes some way to showing us that at least some talents are genetic. I believe that they are part of our DNA, and we probably inherit them from our parents. So thank you, Mom and Dad. A different study by Professor Zach Hambrick investigated 14 studies of top chess players and musicians. Could their level of ability be explained by their hours of practice? The answer was no. Practice only made about a 30% difference to how good these people were. In previous research, Hambrick argues that what is important is the ability to remember things. Having an excellent memory can mean the difference between just being smart and being a genius. One theory is that it takes 10,000 hours of practice to become an expert at something. There is possibly a degree of truth in this, although this will probably depend on what you are practicing. But if your DNA gives you a love of chess, languages, music, or soccer, I'd assume that would make you more likely to be prepared to put in those long hours of practice anyway.
Hi there, Noel. How are you doing?
Hi. I'm okay. A little nervous.
Sure, don't worry. That's totally normal. Do you need some water?
No, I'm fine now. Thank you.
So, why did you want to audition for the show?
I didn't. It was my cousin, actually. He said he thought I had a great voice. And, he told me I should try to sing live in front of an audience.
Have you filled out the application form?
Yes, I have it here.
Great. Good luck. Hello, Caitlin. How are you?
Oh, I'm great. Very excited.
Tell me, how long have you been doing your act?
About 2 years. Well, I've been telling jokes and making people laugh since I was a kid, but this is the first time I've applied to be in a talent show.
And are you feeling confident?
Definitely. I'm here to win.
Awesome. Go for it, Caitlin.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Hi. Yes, we can. Who are you?
I'm Bobby Jones. I'm here for the talent show auditions.
And I'm Charlie.
Hello, both of you. What are you going to do for us today?
We're going to make you laugh, aren't we, Bobby?
Yes, Charlie. Hopefully.
Fantastic. Looking forward to your act.
Well, that wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I was so nervous. I nearly chickened out. I turned up 5 minutes late and I thought I might miss the audition, but they were a little late starting, so it was fine. The interviewer asked me whether I needed some water at the beginning, but I was all right. And luckily my voice was okay. The big surprise is that they asked me to come back for the first show in 3 months. I knew I'd sung my best, but it was still a shock. I'm going to call my cousin and let her know.
I'm glad that's over. Yeah, he asked me how long I'd been doing my act, and he asked me if I was feeling confident, which I was in the beginning, but then I forgot some of the jokes and I had to make some stuff up. Everything went wrong after that. At one point I thought, I might as well just give up, but I kept going until the end. There weren't many laughs, to be honest. They said they would let me know in a few weeks. I wish I could try again. Maybe I was just feeling a bit too confident.
It was a bit strange at the beginning because I was on stage with these bright lights in my face, and I couldn't see anyone or anything. They asked me who I was, and I thought, I'm going to let Charlie answer this. He said, "I'm Charlie," and the guy laughed, which was good. And the guy asked what I was going to do, and I made Charlie answer again. I don't think I did too badly, but I don't think it was great either. I mean, they turn down people all the time, don't they? I'd be quite surprised to hear that I have a place on the show, but who knows?
I'm Andy Harvey. On today's 5-minute call-in, we have Elsa Hardman, the owner of the successful independent music company Buster Records.
Hi, Andy.
Elsa, your first job was manager of a record store. How did you go from that to starting your own record company?
Well, I guess part of it was being in the right place at the right time. Obviously, I knew quite a lot about music, and by chance, I met a guy at a concert who ran a music website, and we became friends. Both of us had our hearts set on having our own record company. So after about 10 years, that's what we managed to do. Buster Records was born.
Okay, Elsa, let's talk to our first caller on line 2. Hi, is this Lisa?
Yes, it is. Hi.
Hi, and what's your question for Elsa?
Hi, Elsa. I wanted to know how I can start my own music company like you. Is it just an impossible dream?
No, Lisa, not at all. You have to dream big. My advice is to go out and meet people. Remember that music industry success is not about what you know, but who you know. And remember to ask people with more experience for help if you need it.
Okay, good advice there. Thanks, Lisa. Now on line 1, we have Gabe. What's your question, Gabe?
Hi. Yes, I'd like to ask Elsa how I can become a singer. I think I have a good voice, but I don't know where to start.
Hi, Gabe. Yes, I get asked this question a lot. First of all, you need to think about your goals and remember to keep them small. If you haven't sung in front of an audience before, try to sing at a small local show and make that your goal for the next few months. Then think about the goals for the following few months and work toward those.
Okay. Yes, that's a good idea. I can do that.
Also, and this is important, start thinking of yourself as a business. Be professional at all times. That shows people that you're hungry for success.
Well, unfortunately, that's all we have time for today. But I'd like to say a big thank you to Elsa.
Talent contests. The TV talent show, Got Talent, started by Simon Cowell in 2004, has become a global success story. Viewers watch the shows in 58 countries. In 2014, Guinness World Records named it the most successful reality TV show ever. A number of other audition-based shows, such as The Voice and The X Factor, are also popular with audiences across the planet. And the reason? People love watching the contestants go from nothing to huge success over a few weeks and months. But how did it all start? Back in 1934, a radio show called Original Amateur Hour began in the U.S. After some success, it moved to TV in 1948. That show was similar to talent shows today. TV professionals traveled the country looking for entertainers who then went to New York for the auditions. The entertainers would audition for the judges on TV, and, if chosen, they would come back and audition again. The audience would vote for their favorite act by phone or by mail. The final competition was at Madison Square Garden, and the winners received a trophy and $1,500. Original Amateur Hour helped to create a number of stars. Frank Sinatra performed on the radio show. Surprisingly, Elvis Presley wasn't successful when he auditioned for the show in Tupelo, Mississippi. Another talent competition was Star Search. Star Search was different because entertainers competed in different categories, such as Best Male Singer and Best Female Singer. The prize money was $100,000 for each category. Many well-known pop stars and singing groups auditioned when they were younger, including Justin Timberlake, Destiny's Child, Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears, and Usher. American Idol started on TV in 2002. Many more TV talent shows followed. So You Think You Can Dance, The X Factor, Rockstar in Excess, The Sing-Off, Dancing with the Stars, and most recently, The Voice. Past winners of Got Talent include a performing police dog team, acrobats, ventriloquists, wheelchair dancers, and even Rubik's Cube puzzle solvers.
Calling all computer game fans. We're hiring in your area. Would you like to earn some extra cash? Are you happy to do freelance work from home? If the answer is yes, then give Reviews for You a call at 800-555-3210. We're a software company that needs gamers to test our new range of exciting PC games. We'll pay $40 for each gaming review you send to us. No contract, no stress, and hours that work for you.
Changes to our working and home lives. Today's workers no longer expect to have the same job for life. The gig economy means that more and more people are working for themselves, offering their services and time in exchange for cash, but with no contract, no pension, and no vacation or sick pay. The way we take care of chores has changed at home too. We have people take care of our gardens and yards. We make someone else walk our dogs because we're too busy to do it ourselves, and we get people to decorate our apartments. We have our groceries delivered, and we get our houses cleaned. Interestingly, there are things that we used to get others to do in the past that we now do ourselves because of changes in technology. Now, we book our own flights online instead of getting a travel agent to do it for us. We also manage our own money online without the help of a bank clerk.
Every day is different. C.C. Rogers, a tech worker in New York City, was laid off in 2018. She knew it might take a long time to find another job in her field. I wasn't sure what to do, explains C.C. When I lost my job, it was a big shock. Luckily, I found out about gig getters, and I signed up with them. They have me do various gigs so I can make money while I'm looking for a more permanent job. I enjoy it. No day is the same.
Welcome to Money Matters with me, Simon Bagshaw. Now, we often hear about some of the world's largest donors, people such as Bill and Melinda Gates and George Soros. Their donations make an enormous difference in lives and communities around the world. George Soros, for example, has donated over $18 billion to charity. But what can ordinary people do to help charities? Many people decide to give cash, but how do you help if you can't afford to donate money? With me in the studio are the local campaign managers for two charities. Pat Beresford, campaign manager for the children's charity Rainbows, and Danny Hamer, campaign manager for the environmental charity Action for Earth. They are the people whose job it is to think of new ways to raise money. Welcome to Money Matters, both of you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Pat, let's start with you first. Let's say I want to help your charity Rainbows, but I don't have any money to donate. What can I do?
Well, there are lots and lots of things you can do as an individual, Simon. What we say to people is, if you can't help us with money, you can help us with your time. You can become a volunteer in one of our thrift stores around the country. We love to see young people giving their time in this way.
But what if you work full-time and you can't do that?
Well, there are many one-day fundraising events. We organize lots of events throughout the year. Bake sales, music events, spelling bees. Some people prefer doing these events because it's a great way to spend time with friends and family. Or you can make a contribution by getting people to pay you for completing a fun run or a marathon.
I'm not very sporty. Anything else, Danny?
Sure, some people hate doing sports. But have you considered playing games online? Nowadays, there are lots of online quizzes that you can do. For every correct answer, companies will pay a certain amount to a charity.
Sounds like a great idea.
Yes, it started about 10 years ago with an organization called Free Rice. Basically, you go online and answer vocabulary questions. For every question you get correct, they donate 10 grains of rice to feed hungry people. It became popular, so charities keep using this technique.
I'll check it out.
Another thing you might consider doing if you travel abroad often is to donate all the foreign currency that you have left at the end of a trip. Sometimes this happens on airplanes. The crew will offer to collect all your foreign currency and give it to a charity. Last year, we received $21,000 this way.
Yes, I've done that at the end of a few flights. Well, some great ideas there. Thank you both for giving me an idea of the small ways we can all contribute and make a big difference. Next week, we'll be discussing what to do. So, as a follow-up to last week's program about how to make your money go further, we thought we'd ask different people on the street how they manage their money. Here are some of their answers.
My brother got me into using computer programs like Excel and Google Spreadsheets, actually. He showed me how you can add all the information about what you spend, and it tells you how much money you have remaining until the end of the month. I don't like borrowing money from the bank, so I don't have credit cards, but I use a debit card for most of the stuff I buy. These days, so many payments are contactless, which suits me because I'm always forgetting my PIN.
I guess I'm part of the generation that controls everything through their smartphone. I use my phone for online banking, and that works fine. And I also use my phone to move money between bank accounts and to make payments to people. I have an app that's really useful for my business account. It tells me what I'm spending, but also how much I should pay into my pension and into the business itself. It costs me about $100 a year, but it's worth the money.
Well, I'm from the older generation, and I think one of the best ways to manage your money is to write down what you spend. That's my first rule. I have a notebook that I carry with me, and I make a note of everything I spend and everything I earn. I still use checks, too, although not so many stores accept them anymore. I also have online banking, but personally, I think it's much better if I can have a written record of my money. Oh, and my other rule is to only use my credit card in emergencies, and I always pay all the money I owe every month. I think I'm very sensible in that way.
I'm actually really bad at managing my money. I don't really splurge on stuff, but I just find money management a really boring thing to do. That's why I'm happy to get someone else to do it for me. I have a financial planner who does all the stuff that I don't like doing. She organizes and pays my bills and checks my bank account, that kind of thing. I used to do it myself, but now that I have a large growing business, it has become too hard. And to be honest, if I can get someone to do the stuff I don't like doing, it gives me more time to actually make money.
Business profile. Kylie Bell's Bakery. Meet Annabelle Eggers and Kylie Howell, a pair of high school friends who recently set up Kylie Bell's Bakery,
a bakery and coffee shop on the North Shore. The pair both left successful careers in law to start their own business, but things didn't get off to a good start. It hasn't been easy, Kylie explains, when we meet up at the bakery on a Sunday morning. I don't think we realized how much hard work it would be. We thought we'd be doing the jobs we love all day, which for us is making cakes and serving customers. But actually, there's a lot more involved, like accounting. Also, we had an awful first day. The pair had to close the bakery after a serious fire in their kitchen on the day they opened. It was terrible, admits Annabelle. We thought we might not be able to afford to open again after the accident. We were both in tears. Luckily, a local resident, Marlene Parks, offered to help by investing over $10,000 in the business. I was looking for a small business to invest some money in, says Marlene. And who doesn't love a nice bakery in their local area? I hope the business does really well, and I wish Annabelle and Kylie lots of luck. The women used the money to get builders to repair the kitchen, and the bakery reopened 2 weeks later. Thanks to Marlene, we were able to get the business open again. We need to pay her back, obviously, but it meant we could start making money. The business is doing really well. We're going to have a new seating area built outside so we can serve more of our cakes. People love our white chocolate cheesecake.
Advertising around the world. Who controls what? As you might expect in the modern world, more and more advertising is being controlled by strict rules. In the U.S., the Federal Trade Commission, FTC, makes sure that all ads are accurate. In the U.K., this is done by the Advertising Standards Agency, ASA, which in 2017 received about 30,000 complaints about ads. The job of these agencies is to decide if certain rules are broken by advertisers. These might include making false promises about the product or using offensive images. The FTC and the ASA decide if the ad can be shown or if it has to be removed. Ads that you might think aren't very offensive can cause lots of complaints. A TV ad showing people talking with their mouths full of food received the most complaints in the ASA's history. People felt that this ad might encourage bad habits in children. In 2017, another TV ad for fried chicken that showed chickens dancing to rap music was criticized for being offensive to vegetarians and vegans. The request was turned down by the ASA. Each country has different rules about what they allow. A famous series of billboard ads made by a fashionable Italian clothing company caused problems in countries where they appeared. One ad, showing a very young baby, shocked a lot of people. In Sicily, the company was ordered by the town officials to remove the ad. It is interesting that what shocks some people is loved by others. It was given a prize by the Swiss General Poster Association and a hospital in Bologna as permission to display the ad on its walls. Some ads have been banned not for showing offensive images, but for the way they market the product. A well-known soft drink ad campaign, which had been seen by millions, was removed for showing a famous celebrity sharing her drink with a police officer at a protest event. The message is just as important as the image.
When we're thinking about our advertising campaigns, one of the first things we have to do is carefully identify our target market. If we don't know who we're marketing our product to, then it just won't sell. We identify our customers using 6 different categories. Gender, so male or female. Age, occupation or job. relationship status, so married, single, divorced, etc., geographic location, and behavior. Once our target customer has been identified, we start to think about how we're going to promote the product and how to make our product the most attractive product to that group of people. One thing that is different between marketing to young adults and marketing to older people is the type of music we use in the ad campaign. Young people want faster, more energetic music, whereas older people, and when I say older, I mean over 60, well, they want music that is calmer and less noisy. And in TV or radio ads directed at older people, the actors usually speak more seriously and less quickly. Then we have to come up with a slogan. Let's say we're advertising a new face cream. The slogan has to say something about the product in a phrase or a short sentence. It has to be clear and easy to remember. We can't just say, "Buy our face cream because it's the best," or "These running shoes will help you run faster." We work very hard to get the perfect slogan, but the more often you do it, the easier it gets. Then, of course, we have to think about designing the logo for the product, and then launching the product in the most exciting way so people become interested in it quickly. And at the same time, we have to manage the budget so we use the money we have.
Working in advertising means that I spend a lot of time thinking about image and appearance. It's important that we get the right look in our ads, but we try not to over-edit. By that, I mean we want to make sure our models look natural and healthy, and we try to set our ads in real situations that people can, understand and connect with. People in our ads should look the same as the people in our target market, and, I think in our latest ad campaign we've managed to do that. As a result, sales so far have been very good.
I'm a model, and recently my agent had a photographer take pictures of me for a commercial. They were for possible jobs with a famous fashion company. About 3 weeks later, my agent emailed me the pictures that the photographer had taken and the Photoshop pictures. I was shocked when I saw them. Although I knew it was me, it didn't look like me at all. They'd made my face look really thin and moved my eyes up and made my nose smaller. I felt quite angry. Well, I know it happens all the time, but when you see your face changed like that, I mean, do they need to have models anymore, or can they just use computer images?
My friends and I play this game sometimes. We look at, magazine ads and try to find the funniest photoshopped images. You might think ad companies would, check the images carefully, especially when they go on the front cover. But there are lots of mistakes. Sometimes you notice things such as an image where the model's leg is missing, or the model has an extra finger, or they've made someone's head look, too big for their body. It's so funny. That's why we love ads, I guess.
I don't think people pay that much attention to ads, do they? I never feel like I see an ad and think, "Oh, yes, I really have to get one of those," or "I have to have that." It's like, when I'm shopping, what makes me pick up certain things and buy them? Do you think that's due to an ad? I don't think I buy things due to an ad. I think it's because I just want to try, that cheese, or that new shampoo. Ads are a waste of time, in my opinion. I buy stuff because I want to, not because I've heard a slogan or seen a logo.
Storyboards. What you need to know. Have you ever come up with the most fantastic idea for an ad, or perhaps a homemade video, but had a problem getting your ideas down on paper? Then you need a storyboard. What is a storyboard? A storyboard is a series of sketches drawn in the style of a comic. It shows every scene of the ad. It shows what characters are in the scene, what they are doing, and what they are saying. A good storyboard will help you imagine the ad. It shows the production team what to photograph and in what order. It communicates ideas without long, wordy descriptions. As more people become involved in making the ad and give their opinions, the storyboard may develop and change. How to make a storyboard. A storyboard doesn't have to be complicated. Here's how to make one. Step 1. Make a template. Draw a series of squares or rectangles on a plain piece of paper, one for each scene. Leave room underneath the squares or rectangles for notes. You can also find free storyboards online. Step 2. Draw the story. Don't worry if you aren't very good at drawing. You can use simple stick figures in the boxes. Show any movement with an arrow or short parallel lines. Step 3. Add the dialogue. Write any dialogue underneath the pictures. You can also make a silent video where no dialogue is necessary. Step 4. Add notes. These might include instructions for camera angles, descriptions of the actions in the scene, or ideas for music. Good luck!